Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to discover one of the most beautiful Gothic constructions in the world. And welcome, Batalha. There are places that are beautiful, and then there are places that change the course of history. Nestled in the heart of central Portugal is the small town of Batalha, a place whose very name means battle. At first glance, it looks peaceful, quiet streets, welcoming cafes, and one of the most breathtaking Gothic monuments in Europe. But beneath the tranquil atmosphere lies the story of a nation fighting for its survival. This is Batalha. Today we're exploring Batalha, discovering the incredible monastery that became a symbol of Portuguese independence, walking through centuries of history, and uncovering why this remarkable town deserves a place on every traveler's itinerary. Perhaps the monastery's greatest surprise lies behind it, the famous Capelas Imperfeitas. Originally intended as an elaborate royal mausoleum, construction continued for generations before suddenly stopping. The result is extraordinary, an elaborate Gothic structure without a roof. The sky itself became the ceiling. Standing inside feels almost magical. Sunlight pours through giant stone arches while birds circle overhead. Centuries after work ended, the unfinished masterpiece has become perfect precisely because it remains incomplete. It reminds us that even history sometimes leaves stories unfinished. Batalha Monastery is more than a church. It's a masterpiece. Construction began in 1386 and continued for nearly 2 centuries. Generation after generation of architects, sculptors, and craftsmen contributed to its creation. The result is a breathtaking blend of Gothic and Manueline architecture, unlike anywhere else in Europe. Every wall tells a story. Every arch showcases astonishing craftsmanship. Every window transforms sunlight into art. Walking through the monastery feels almost surreal. Towering columns rise effortlessly towards the heavens. Stone lacework decorates ceilings with astonishing precision. Silence fills the vast interior, interrupted only by footsteps echoing across centuries-old floors. One of the most remarkable features is the magnificent stained glass windows. These were among the earliest examples in Portugal and continue to bathe the church in colorful light hundreds of years later. Outside, the intricate flying buttresses and countless decorative pinnacles revealed incredible ambition behind the project. This wasn't simply built to impress. It was built to celebrate a nation's survival. In 1983, UNESCO recognized its extraordinary cultural significance by declaring it a World Heritage Site. Today, millions visit each year to admire one of Europe's finest examples of medieval architecture. Hidden within the monastery lies one of Portugal's most sacred places, the Founders' Chapel. Completed in the early 1400s, it became the royal pantheon of the House of Avish. Here lie King João I and Queen Philippa de Lancaster. Remarkably, their tombs rest hand in hand. It's one of the earliest known double tombs in Europe, depicting a married couple holding hands, a touching symbol of unity, loyalty, and love. Surrounding them are the tombs of their sons, including Prince Henry the Navigator, whose leadership would help launch Portugal into the Age of Discovery. Standing here, you're not simply looking at the royal tombs. You're standing at the birthplace of Portugal's Golden Age. Let me do a recap of the battle that saved Portugal. The year was 1385. Portugal faced one of the greatest threats in his history. Following a succession crisis, neighboring Castile sought to claim the Portuguese throne. If successful, Portugal could have disappeared as an independent kingdom. King João I gathered a much smaller Portuguese army, aided by English longbowmen, to confront the invading forces near the village of Aljubarrota, just outside modern-day Batalha. Against overwhelming odds, Portugal achieved one of the most remarkable victories in medieval Europe. The victory secured Portuguese independence and established the new House of Aviz. It also strengthened the historic alliance between Portugal and England, an alliance that still exists today and is considered the oldest active diplomatic alliance in the world. King João I believed the victory was divine intervention. To fulfill a promise he had made before the battle, he ordered the construction of an enormous monastery dedicated to the Virgin Mary. That monastery would become one of Portugal's greatest treasures. Although the monastery attracts visitors from around the world, Batalha itself deserves time to explore. The streets are clean, peaceful, and remarkably easy to walk. Local cafes spill onto sunny terraces where residents gather over coffee and pastries. Traditional Portuguese restaurants serve regional favorites, including roasted lamb, grilled cod, hearty soups, and delicious convent-inspired desserts. Unlike many tourist destinations, Batalha still feels genuinely local. Take your time, wander without a plan, browse artisan shops selling ceramics, olive wood crafts, embroidery, and locally produced wines. As evening approaches, the pace slows even further. The monastery begins glowing golden under carefully placed lights. It's one of Portugal's most spectacular nighttime views. Just a few minutes outside town is the interpretation center of the Battle of Aljubarrota. This modern museum brings the events of 1385 vividly to life. We experienced that. It's like in a big, huge theater, and it's incredible. It was like being part of the battle. Interactively exhibits explain military tactics, archaeological discoveries, and the remarkable strategy that followed a small Portuguese army to defeat a far larger invading force. Visiting both the battlefield and the monastery creates a complete picture. One tells the story of the battle, and the other tells the story of its legacy. Batalha is much more than a beautiful town. It's a reminder that courage can shape the future, that architecture can tell stories, and that even centuries later, one victory can continue to inspire an entire nation. Whether you come for the history, the remarkable Gothic architecture, or simply to experience one of Portugal's most unforgettable places, Batalha leaves a lasting impression. Spend a day here, learn the story of the battle that changed history. And this is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed Batalha. I am exactly in the spot where the Aljubarrota war was done. This is where it took place many years ago, and where Portugal defeated Spain in that heroic war. So I hope you enjoyed Batalha, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Bye.